Hello, my name is Hun, and today I'll be talking about how I practice Google Analytics 4 using the Google Merchandise Store demo account. And this video covers section 1 through 7 of our GA4 textbook. So over the next 10 minutes, we'll learn what digital analytics is, how it transforms business decisions, and how to navigate the GA4 interface using real e-commerce data. So let's begin by understanding what digital analytics actually means. Digital analytics is the process of collecting data from users as they interact with websites and then providing us with visual representations of that data. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. As you can see here in the Google Merchandise Store, we're tracking real user behavior from an actual e-commerce site that sells Google branded products. And these numbers you see here represent actual customer interactions happening right now, and this is live data from real shoppers. So digital analytics helps us understand the entire user journey. It starts with acquisition, how people first discover the site, and next is engagement, which pace they visit, what they click, how long they stay, and what events they trigger. And finally, we measure the conversion phase, such as the purchase journey, checkout journey, and transactions of the customers. So running a website without analytics is like turning on the air conditioner and leaving all the doors open. You're wasting resources without realizing it. And digital analytics removes the guesswork and allows businesses to make clear and data-driven decisions. Now let's look at how analytics actually drives business growth. So if you use GA4 for digital analytics, the report snapshot gives you a high-level summary of user activity, including active users, engagement time, and event count. And from here, we can identify where users come from, search engine, paid ads, or direct visits. This is also powerful because business can clearly see which marketing channels are performing well. So for example, if we take a look at the traffic acquisition, if organic search bring a big number of sessions and also strong purchase activity, we can confidently decide to invest more in SEO. Or if email marketing bring many visitors but very few purchase, that tells we may need to adjust our targeting or messaging. Analytics also helps us answer the questions like, did our marketing campaigns actually increase conversions, or which product sells better on weekends? So this data-driven approach ensures that marketing investments are made where they have the strongest payoff. Okay, so now let's understand how Google Analytics works. GA4 uses a small piece of JavaScript code, look like this. We call it a tracking code. That's installed on every page of the website. We will discuss about installing this later, but in general, when someone visits the Google Merchandise Store websites, this code fire and create what called a cookie on their device, and then collecting data about their session. Okay, so let's look at the user overview report to see some example of what information is collected. So here I can see where user come from, their geographic location, country, city, and even specific region. Or in the tech overview report, I can see what is the device they are using, what is the browser and the operating systems. This matters because mobile users behave differently than desktop users and so on. But here's an important point about privacy. GA4 respects user privacy. It doesn't collect personally identifiable information unless you configure it for e-commerce transactions. It tracks behavior patterns and data, not individual identities. All of this data collection happens in milliseconds, completely invisible to the user, while providing businesses with invaluable insights. So to understand GA4 reports, we need to know some core analytic terms. Now that GA4 has evolved, so some concepts in our textbook no longer match what we see today, but it doesn't matter because I will figure it out. So let's begin with the report snapshot. Users are individual visitors, the people who visit our website. Active users is user who had engaged sessions, not just quick visits. So in here, that's 65,000 people. And new users means that we have 55,000 people visited for the first time this month. And average engagement time is how long users were actively interacting. In this case, it's like 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And about views, this shows how many times a page was viewed. The home page here has 74,000 views. If someone refreshes the page, it counts as another page view. If they leave and come back to see the same page, it counts again. How about the bounce rate? A bounce is when a customer comes to the website and leaves without interacting. There's some tricky about bounce rate to understand. If the bounce rate is high, it doesn't mean that it's bad. For example, if you're looking at an e-commerce website like Google Merchandise Store, having a high bounce rate is bad. But if you have a blog page with no call to action, you just want people to read the content, so a high bounce rate is expected because visitors are not required to take any other actions on the page. So next, with the acquisition overview report, we see the term session. Sessions are visits. One user can have multiple sessions. If you visit a website in the morning, that's one session. If you come back in the evening, that's a second session. But you still count it at only one user. And next is the session source and medium. This tells where users came from and how they find us. For example, Google Organic means they found us on Google by organic search. Moving a bit further to the traffic acquisition report, we see the term event. In GA4, everything is an event. Page views are an event, clicks are events, purchases are events, scrolling down a page can be an event. But the key events are the most important actions we want user to take. For an e-commerce store like this, the main conversion is obviously purchase. When someone completes a transaction, that's the key event. And the last term I want to mention is the user stickiness. It shows how often users return to your website within a specific time period. It answers the question, are people coming back or do they visit one and disappear? A high stickiness rate means users find your website valuable and they return frequently, and you are building loyalty. So all of these terms are foundation of the new GA4 experience, and we'll see all of them again in the second video when I start analyzing the real reports. Okay, so now I will navigate to the admin panel and let me quickly show you how GA4 accounts are structured. So if I was creating my old GA4 setup, I would click create, then account. It would direct me to the account details page, and I type my account name here and then next. At this page, I'll give a property name, choose the time zone and currency, and next. We choose the industry category and also choose the business size. In the business objectives, we can choose any objectives we have and then create. And in the last step, because I'm using the demo property of Google, so I will skip this. But in the next part of the video, I will talk about how GA4 is connected to a website. So to collect data, GA4 needs to be connected to your website using Google tag, which I have mentioned before in the section 3. And then you just copy and paste it in the code of every page of your website immediately after the head element. However, if I am a WordPress user, I will not install manually, but instead I use the plugin like Google Sitekit, and then choose this and follow the instruction here using the measurement ID, not the Google tag. And once everything installed, the tracking starts immediately and data begins flowing into our GA4 reports within minutes. So now everything is ready, so let's explore the GA4 interface. So at the top we have home, giving a quick overview of users, events and purchases, but actually you can custom the items as you want. And one new feature in the GA4 interface is the Analytic Advisor from Beta. It's an AI-powered assistant that helps answer questions directly inside Google Analytics. And these features make data exploration faster and easier, especially for beginners. And next, we have report, where most analysis happen. Reports are organized by the user lifecycle. We have real time, what's happening right now. Acquisition is how users arrive. Engagement, what users do on the site. Monetization is revenue and e-commerce data. Retention is how often users come back. And then we have user attributes and tech, about who they are, what device they use, and etc. Below that is explore, where we create custom reports like funnel, path analysis, cohorts, and segment comparisons. And then we have advertising, which shows performance if Google Ads is linked. And finally, the admin section controls everything about your accounts, property settings, and integrations with other products of Google. And that concludes video 1. To summarize, in this first practice video, I explore how digital analytics works, how my GA4 account is set up and connected, and how to navigate the main interface. And in the next video, I will dive deep into the actual reporting sections with the remaining parts. Thank you for watching.